What's going on, Bam Bam Rants subscribers? Today we're going to talk about SummerSlam 2024 and my opinions on it and everything else. All in all, it was a great show to me. You know, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, good opening match. Nothing too special. Straightforward. But the most entertaining part was the whole Dominic Mysterio Judgment Day storyline. And awesome match. They done good. Rhea clearly carried that match. To me, it went a little bit too long. You know, they could have shaved off about 3 minutes. But all in all, it was great. Pat McAfee on commentary describing Dominic Mysterio as a used dude wipe. Phenomenal. Love Pat McAfee. Hope he keeps up his commentary with Michael Cole, but we'll see. But Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee on commentary, they all mesh together. Great chemistry. Michael Cole, you can tell night and day from the Vince McMahon era to the Triple H era. He's actually a lot better on commentary because he's actually able to be himself and everything flows organically. Love it. Then we go to Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. Good match. A little short. Love the fact that Braun Breaker is now the new IC champ. But who do they have in that mid card that he can feud with? Because as we go into the main event, I'll explain that later. Because Jey Uso's clearly going to be going back with the bloodline for War Games, in my opinion. So then we go. Who was third match? I think it was Bayley and Nia Jax. And not a big fan of Nia Jax. She don't know how to work. Unless somebody's carrying her like a Charlotte, a Bayley, who else? Liv Valkyria. She's not that good of a worker, and her bonsai drop just, it looks like it actually hurts instead of like what Yokozuna and Rikishi could do, where it looks like it hurt, but they were light as a feather. Because I've heard Jim Cornette on his podcast talk about when he got bonsai drop from Yoko, and Yoko was pushing 650. I think that's what Corny said. Not real sure. But he said Yoko was light as a feather with him. But, you know, you go back and you watch that bonsai drop on, I think it's on YouTube or WWE Network. It looks like Yoko crushed him. But then again, Yoko, for being that size, he was a hell of a worker. Moved great. And I've never heard him, or I've never heard of anybody talk about they had a bad match with Yoko. Even Taker praises Yoko, even though, you know, Taker is a little bit biased because they were boys. But then we go to Logan Paul and LA Knight, which, man, Logan Paul is something great. That springboard turnaround moonsault that he done to the floor, man, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. And he's gotten so much better in the ring, it's not even funny. You know, he's a natural. I wish he would have done this maybe 5-6 years ago. I mean, I don't even think he's 30 yet. So he's still in his late 20s. But man, if he had about 5 years of consistent experience under his belt, he'd be phenomenal. LA Knight, I've been a fan of his since he was Eli Drake in TNA. And that dude's good. I could see him being a challenger for Cody Rhodes' Universal or Undisputed Championship in the near future if they push him right. Then we go CM Punk and Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as special referee. You know, Punk in AEW, I shit on him, but I think it was more the environment with the younger guys in AEW that don't have any structure. Because, you know, Punk has had an attitude problem in the past, especially with Vince McMahon and his ideas for creative and all that, but he actually seems genuinely happy to be back in WWE. Triple H has not had any complaints about it. I just hope Punk can stay healthy and we get more matches like this, because it was a really good match. You can tell Punk had a little bit of ring rust, because since Wembley he's had, 3-4 matches? A couple of non-televised matches with WWE plus the Rumble. But Punk looks in great shape. He's got more muscle mass and definition than he did in AEW. And he genuinely seems like he's enjoying wrestling again. But what made this match so good was the storytelling. It gave me a lot of the Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels 97 SummerSlam vibe. Was it 97 or 96? One of those. And the story is going to continue, which I'm enjoying the storylines. That's one thing WWE's doing way better than AEW right now, is telling these stories and keeping these stories. But, you know, Drew McIntyre beat CM Punk with Claymore. I could see another match, but who knows. We'll see where the story goes tonight on Monday Night Raw. Then we go, who was it? Gunther and Damian Priest. And this was probably my favorite match of the night. I'm a big fan of Gunther. His style, it's old school, smash mouth. You know, reminds me of a lot of, you know, a Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody type, where you know you're going to go in there and you're going to get your ass beat. Straight up. And him and Damian Priest, you know, I told my wife it was big meaty men slapping meat. No diddy. But they were stiff in all the right places. No diddy. You know, it looked good. The action was there. They sold. The fans got into it. And they mic'd up the ring just good enough to where those chops, you could feel them at home. Then we get the Finn Balor interference, which I don't like 2 turns in this, or technically 4 turns in the same night, because you get a double turn with Rhea Ripley going babyface, Liv going definitely heel now that she's with Dom, and then we get Finn being heel with Damian clearly being babyface now. But it's a good story, because if you watch the product consistently week in, week out, you know that there has been dissension in the Judgment Day. And now we'll probably get Finn versus Priest at, what's the next pay-per-view? Bash in Berlin. So, looking forward to that. Gunther the new world champ. And the same issue that I have with Braun Breaker being IC champ. Now, who do we have in place at that main event level that can go with Gunther? But Triple H is good at making new stars. And with this Finn Balor turn, that gets Damian Priest away from the main event picture with Gunther, so we can bring somebody else up. So we'll see. But we have a Drew McIntyre, we have Seth Rollins, we have people that can go with Gunther, but we need to elevate others. I would love to see Gunther versus Jey Uso again, but like I said, I think I'll get into the spoiler alert here in a minute. But Gunther's new world champion. Then we go to Bloodline Rules with Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. This probably my second favorite match of the night, if not third. Yeah, I'll go third because I liked LA Knight winning the U.S. title over Logan Paul. So Gunther, Priest, best match. Paul and Knight second. This one third. And great match. Then we get, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu. We get all that running. Then we get KO and Randy Orton running in. But the scariest part was when Jacob Fatu splashed Cody on the announcer's table and immediately grabbed his leg. I'm thinking he hurt his ankle, because the way his ankle just collapsed when he was trying to stand up, yeah, scary. But then we get the return of the OTC, the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. He comes in, Superman punches Solo, hits him with a spear, and helps Cody win and retain his title. So we're definitely getting War Games, Bloodline versus Bloodline, and I can't wait, especially if the rumors are true that, Zilla Fatu's possibly coming in. Hikuleu, who's Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa's brother, they're coming in. But then we got to get people with Roman. So the Usos are going to get back together to go with Roman. Zilla could come back with Roman, because he's the only one crazy enough to go with Jacob Fatu. But then we got to get somebody with Hikuleu. And I don't know if Sami Zayn's going to reunite with Jimmy and Jay, but we'll see. All in all, SummerSlam, great card. Can't wait for tonight's Monday Night Raw. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Till next time.